Agriculture and its diverse sectors, which includes horticulture, are the largest source of income and sustenance in India. Its importance can be gauged from the fact that 70% of India's rural households still depend primarily on agriculture for their livelihood. Of these, 82% are small and marginal farmers. But the contribution of Indian farmers to India's growth story is a matter of pride for all of us. From a net importer of grain in the first 2 decades after India's independence, India has become the largest producer of grain in the world, contributing some 25% of global production according to the Food and Agricultural Organization (FAO). We are also now the second largest producer of fruit at 10.9%, as well as vegetables at 8.6% of the world's total production. And while these are major achievements, the need of the hour is to rapidly improve the economic condition of smaller and marginal farmers. For this to happen, it's important to diversify agricultural practices, and for this reason, the Government of India has been focusing on the horticulture sector, which includes vegetables, fruits, ornamental, medicinal and aromatic crops. The Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare launched the Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture in 2014-15 to provide holistic support to farmers for growing these crops. But there are major challenges. So for this mission to succeed, it's imperative for farmers to adopt innovative and new scientific techniques like drip irrigation, integrated nutrient and pest management solutions, among a host of others. And to see how this can be achieved, our India science team traveled to Karnal in Haryana to a horticulture center of excellence that is transforming the condition of farmers.
फार्मर को जैसे हम अच्छी गुणवत्ता की
We are providing good quality seedlings to the farmers and the technologies of protected cultivation, open cultivation, organic farming and micro irrigation, so that these technology can help the farmer in getting higher yield and better quality produce, which in turn will get them better price for their crop and make them self-reliant.
किसान की आमदनी बढ़ेगी तो आत्मनिर्भर होगा.
The Indo-Israeli Agriculture Project, whose implementing partners are National Horticulture Mission under Agriculture Ministry and MASHAV, Israel's Agency for International Development Cooperation. This and much more on this exclusive episode of Science for a Self Reliant India, only on India Science. The farmers of India, along with the scientific institutions of the Government of India and state governments, worked hard to make our country self-sufficient in food grain production after attaining independence in 1947. These efforts ushered in the Green Revolution in the late 1960s. However, it was only in the mid-1980s that the government identified horticulture crops as a means of diversification for making agriculture more profitable for smaller farmers through scientific methods of farming, efficient land use, optimum utilization of natural resources, water management, and creating skilled employment for rural India. The focus on producing horticultural cash crops has continued to increase and has in fact seen a major transformation with the National Horticulture Mission, which was launched in 2014-15 under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. Horticulture's role in providing the country's nutritional security, poverty alleviation, employment generation programs, and even exporting produce is becoming increasingly important. It offers not only a wide range of options to the farmers for crop diversification, but also provides ample scope for sustaining a large number of agro-industries which generate large-scale employment opportunities. For example, modern techniques like micro-propagation of saplings, protected cultivation, drip irrigation, fertigation, which is application of fertilizer within the irrigation system, and integrated nutrient and pest management solutions. In order to help farmers diversify and improve their income by producing horticulture crops, it has become imperative to help them adopt and encourage innovative and new scientific techniques in farming. An Indo-Israeli work plan was signed in May 2006 and an action plan was agreed in 2008, where a number of areas were identified on which collaborative efforts could be taken up in the states of Maharashtra, Haryana and Rajasthan. A number of technologies were transferred from Israel to India, namely horticulture mechanization, protected cultivation, nursery management and micro-irrigation in the first phase of the Indo-Israeli Agriculture Project. The implementing partners for the project are the National Horticulture Mission under the Agriculture Ministry, MASHAV, Israel's Agency for International Development Cooperation, and Indian state governments, which help set up centers of excellence as per their local needs. The first project started with a facility in Gharonda, Karnal district in Haryana and named the Center of Excellence for Vegetables.
इस सेंटर को जो स्थापित करने के जो मुख्य उद्देश्य ये थे कि जो different type of protected.
The main objective of establishing this center was to develop techniques to grow high-value vegetables like cherry tomatoes, seedless cucumber, and different varieties of colored capsicum under the different protective cultivation methods. Second objective was to increase the yield of the crops, and along with the yield, the objective was to improve the quality of the vegetables as well. The third objective was to showcase the benefits of different techniques of micro-irrigation systems to the farmer, like drip irrigation, semi-automatic, fully automatic, and family drip system.
तीसरा था डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ माइक्रो इरिगेशन सिस्टम, जो टपका सिंचाई है उसका जैसे फुली ऑटोमेटिक है, सेमी ऑटोमेटिक है, फैमिली ड्रिप है, तो ये अलग अलग जो सिस्टम थे इनकी स्थापना करके किसानों को दिखाया जाए.
There is an ancient proverb, necessity is the mother of invention. And this saying is apt for the nation of Israel when it comes to agriculture. The country is woefully short of cultivable land. Only 20% is naturally arable, while half of the country is desert and water resources are scarce and do not favor farming. But the motto of Israel is more crop per drop. The country pioneered the drip irrigation technology, and here almost no fresh water is allowed to go waste. It is recycled several times, and most of the agriculture farms in the country are irrigated using treated municipal wastewater. Dealing with subjects ranging from plant genetics to arid zone cultivation, Israel's agricultural scientists and farmers have developed science-based technologies which have dramatically enhanced the quantity and quality of the country's produce. Despite several challenges, Israel produces about 95% of its own food requirements. To see how Israel has transformed horticulture produce using a range of scientific technologies to help farmers, our India science team travelled not to the state of Israel, but to the outskirts of Karnal in Haryana, where a state-of-the-art agricultural farm has been developed by India and Israel. The Center of Excellence for Vegetables at Gharonda in Karnal was established in 2011 to impart technical know-how and demonstrate the effectiveness of state-of-the-art irrigation technologies. This Indo-Israel Center also showcases the latest technology of vegetable cultivation in protected and open conditions and imparts training to grow quality vegetable seedlings to farmers.
जो फार्मर के वेलफेयर के लिए सेंटर द्वारा जो अलग अलग प्रोग्राम चलाए जा रहे हैं.
The center runs various farmer welfare programs. One of them is 5-day weekly training program. In this program, farmers from our state are provided free of cost training by the government. They get trained by our expert in the technologies that are being used for growing different crops under protected cultivation and micro irrigation. And after that, they apply the techniques in their farms. Not every farmer can afford a poly house. So for that, We tell them about low-cost technologies like mulching, tunneling method, water-soluble fertilizers, vertical farming techniques for bamboo, and integrated pest management, so that the farmer does not use excess fertilizer in the farm.
किसानों के खेत पे डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन करेंगे वाटर सोल्यूबल फर्टिलाइजर्स है जो ड्रिप इरिगेशन से दिया जाता है। IPM है, इंटीग्रेटेड पेस्ट मैनेजमेंट है, ताकि किसान अपना ज़्यादा पेस्टिसाइड और इंसेक्टिसाइड्स को छोड़कर और ये इंटीग्रेटेड पेस्ट मैनेजमेंट पे आए।
Here, both countries share technology and jointly undertake protected cultivation of various vegetables including tomatoes, cucumbers and capsicum. These centers assist farmers to get access to the newest and most innovative Israeli technologies. The scientists also help train the farmers adopt all the technologies and advanced methods in the most beneficial manner with the aim to boost the yield of vegetables, which in turn can increase farmers' income. The objective of these centers is to help farmers get a deeper understanding on how to adopt and manage new cultivation practices like polyhouse cultivation and micro-irrigation, and to grow off-season vegetables which fetch much higher prices in the market. The centers also aim to ensure that the quality of vegetables produced and the nutritional value also increases. The project at Gharonda has 4 high-tech polyhouses, 2 naturally ventilated polyhouses, 10 walk-in tunnels, along with other provisions for horticulture and floriculture. All of these provide different levels of protected cultivation. A polyhouse is a structure where a specialized polythene sheet is used as a covering material under which the crops can be grown in partially or fully controlled climatic conditions. Modern-day polyhouses are built on steel frames and are covered with plastic. A high-quality white plastic film of 200 microns thickness is used for covering the steel frame, which can withstand degradation due to UV rays and last up to 3 years. Polyhouse is a smaller version of a greenhouse where polyethylene is used as the cover instead of glass, whose interiors become warm when exposed to sunbeams as the house stops the greenhouse gases from leaving. So when it is cold outside, the temperature inside is survival friendly and warm for the plants. And as the plants are grown under controlled temperature, there is a less chance of crop loss or damage. This helps create a microclimate surrounding the crops that help in maximum growth and enhances the production and quality of the crops. The polyhouse also provides higher concentrations of carbon dioxide to increase the production of crops to the maximum level. Therefore, the yields are higher than in open cultivation. Importantly, crops can be grown throughout the year, unlike in open fields. In addition to this, plants that are otherwise impossible to cultivate in a particular climatic zone can be grown in polyhouse conditions. A good example is the growing of strawberries in the plains of India.
हम लोगों ने लास्ट ईयर सेम वैरायटी ग्रो करी थी, उसको हम लोगों ने प्रोटेक्टेड में भी लगाया था, हमने ओपन में भी लगाया था। ओपन में उसकी हाइट मान के चलिए
Last year we have planted the same variety in our protected environment structure and also in our open organic farms. In open conditions, the height of the plant goes up to 8 to 9 feet and not beyond that. And the same tomato variety, when cultivated in protected environment in a polyhouse, its height goes up to 35 feet and the plant keep growing for 9 months with continuous production of flowers and fruits. Because in the protected structure, we can control and maintain the temperature inside the polyhouse. For example, in the case of tomatoes, 24 degrees is considered ideal temperature for its color to change. So we can provide that temperature to the plant even in the winters as well.
आप देख सकते हैं कि मार्केट में टमाटर के दाम बहुत ज़्यादा हो गए, 100 रुपए किलो के आसपास चल रहा है। तो उस वक्त इस कंडीशन में हम उस पे अच्छे प्राइस मार्केट में ले सकते हैं।
Polyhouse crops can be irrigated from overhead spray systems which provide water without wastage. In this system, pipes are hung from the plants and the nozzles are fitted in the pipes at a 360-degree pattern. The high-tech polyhouses at the center of excellence are used to cultivate disease-free, high-yielding seedlings for the farmers on order. High-tech polyhouses like a polyhouse are covered with specialized plastic covers, but they have a number of important additions. For example, on one side of the structure, cooling pads are installed and exhaust fans placed on the opposite side to keep the climate inside the polyhouse in check. For irrigation and fertilization, overhead sprinklers are installed, for which a uniform quantity can be applied on the crops. Here, the seedlings are prepared in a soil-less medium. A soil-less medium is a substrata that is part of an artificial system of cultivation in which plants are grown without soil. This medium provides plants with physical support, regulates the water flow, serves as a reservoir of nutrients, and permits gas exchange to and from the roots. Here, the soil-less medium is prepared at the center by using coco peat, which comes from the waste of coconut husk. It is mixed with vermiculate, a nutrient for seeds which contains magnesium and potassium for enriching the mix. Another component is perlite, a mineral which improves drainage and aeration. It is 100% organic, free from any contamination, and also very effective for greenhouse applications. The presence of organic compounds in coco peat can stimulate root growth and offer some natural resistance to plant disease. The seedlings are created with the help of an automatic sowing machine. In this, the mixture of coco peat, vermiculite and perlite is put into plastic cone trays. Then, the high-quality seeds are fed into the machine, which plants the seeds in cone trays filled with the soil-less medium. The trays are then taken to the germination center for developing at a particular temperature till the seeds germinate. Once the seedlings grow to a specified size, they are supplied to the farmers.
मैं गांव फुलक से बिलोंग करता हूं। मैंने नेट हाउस लगाया हुआ है। मैं पहले बीज सीधा खेत में लगाता था।
Earlier, I used to plant the seeds in the farms directly. So the plants used to die and the seeds used to get destroyed also because of the pathogens in the soil, due to which I had faced huge losses. Then I get to know about this center. And when I came here, I saw that they provide good quality of already grown seedlings. Then I planted those seedlings in my farm. And I have got 600 quintals of cucumber in 1 acre and sold the produce for approx 6.5 lakh rupees. So I would recommend all the farmers to come and get these seedlings from the center for better yields and higher profits.
600 क्विंटल करीब मेरा क्विंटल खीरा निकला है और उसमें क्या हुआ यानी 6.5 लाख के 7 लाख के करीब मेरा खीरा वो पैदावार हुई है। मैं सभी किसानों से ये कहना चाहूँगा जो भी पौधे यहाँ पर तैयार करवाओगे तो आपका ना खर्चा भी बचेगा और आपको क्वालिटी भी अच्छी मिलेगी।
In addition to high-tech polyhouses, there are other specialized polyhouses for various applications. Naturally ventilated polyhouse cultivation takes place in a special structure made of galvanized pipes, insect-proof nets, and transparent plastic sheets, which protect the crops from adverse climatic conditions, insects, and different viruses. In this type of polyhouse, all 4 sides of the greenhouse are covered with an insect-proof 40-micron mesh nylon net. The naturally ventilated polyhouse is designed to solve the problem of ventilation and humidity and especially suited for hot and humid weather conditions. These kinds of polyhouses are suitable for cultivating cucumber, tomatoes, and different varieties of capsicums. Then there is the walk-in tunnel cultivation method. It is a small hemispherical structure frame made of materials like wood or plastic or even iron pipes, which are covered with polyethylene or fiber-reinforced plastics. This kind of farming is normally adopted for off-season cultivation of summer vegetables. Because of the controlled atmosphere, tunnel farming is an important technique for higher yields and early production of horticulture produce and therefore is a good source for higher profits to farmers.
We are doing protected cultivation for producing off-season vegetables. So when the vegetables are not available in the market, then the farmers can supply them to get higher returns. And from this year onwards, Haryana government has included these protected structures under their subsidy schemes as well.
One of the key ways to boost overall agricultural production is to implement better soil water management techniques that provide arid and semi-arid lands better access to irrigation water without actually increasing the stress on available water resources. The introduction of micro-irrigation drip sprinklers and micro-sprinklers has given a boost to horticulture in the state and forms an important part of the Indo-Israeli partnership. The main advantage of micro-irrigation is to save water and increase yields by enhancing the overall quality of production. Drip irrigation involves dripping water onto the soil at very low rates from 2 to 20 liters an hour from a system of small diameter plastic pipes fitted with outlets called emitters or drippers. Water is applied close to plants so that only the part of the soil in which the roots are present gets soaked. Drip irrigation system delivers water to the crop using a network of main line, sublines and lateral line with emission points spaced at regular intervals along the entire length. Each dripper or emitter supplies a measured, precisely controlled uniform application of water, nutrients, pesticides and growth substances directly into the root zone of the plant. In this way, plants get moisture and nutrients replenished immediately, ensuring plants do not suffer from water stress, thus enhancing quality. This results in optimum growth and higher yield. Drip irrigation is known to be the most effective irrigation method with 95 to 100% water use efficiency. A typical drip irrigation system consists of the following components. The pump unit takes water from the source and provides the right pressure for delivery into the pipe system. The control head consists of valves to control the discharge and pressure in the entire system. It may also have filters to clear the water. Some control head units contain a fertilizer or nutrient tank. These slowly add a measured dose of fertilizer into the water during irrigation. This is one of the major advantages of drip irrigation over other methods. Main lines and sublines supply water from the control head into the fields. They are usually made from PVC or polyethylene hose. Emitters or drippers are devices used to control the discharge of water from the lateral to the plants. The basis of design is to produce an emitter which will provide a specified constant discharge which does not vary with the pressure changes and does not block easily. With the efforts of the Indo-Israeli Agriculture Project and its centers of excellence in Karnal and other parts of the country, horticulture has become an important part of farmers. Many of them are shifting from traditional patterns of growing paddy and wheat and growing a range of vegetables which are providing them more income. Apart from training, the state governments and the union government is also providing a number of subsidies to farmers to create assets like polyhouses and drip irrigation systems to encourage faster adoption of modern agricultural techniques. The Government of India and the Government of Israel have further strengthened this partnership, and the number of centers of excellence will be increased to 29, of which 3 were opened in 2021. Important collaborations like the Indo-Israeli Agriculture Project will go a long way in creating the expertise and knowledge systems needed for India's horticulture revolution, which is only possible by leveraging science and technology and passing it on to our farmers as knowledge systems. That's all on this episode of Science for a Self Reliant India, only on India Science.